Welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into the fascinating world of the United States of America Liberty Quarter Dollar, one of the most iconic and collectible coins in U.S. history. Featuring the powerful inscriptions, "In God We Trust," and "E Pluribus Unum," this legendary quarter represents freedom, heritage, and American pride. From rare mint marks to hidden details collectors often overlook, these Liberty Quarter Dollar coins could be worth far more than face value. Whether you're a passionate coin collector, a history lover, or someone searching for valuable old U.S. coins, this video is packed with must-know information. We'll explore design features, historical background, rarity factors, and why Liberty Quarters remain in high demand in today's coin market. So stay tuned, watch till the end, and discover why the Liberty Quarter Dollar is a true treasure of American numismatics. If you want, I can also add high-ranking SEO keywords in the description. Direct hit rewrite it in a more dramatic/viral style. Chart increasing optimize it for shorts or long-form videos. Just say the word thumbs up. The 1990 United States of America Quarter Dollar is a fascinating coin that carries the powerful inscriptions "Liberty" and "In God We Trust," symbols that reflect the nation's history, values, and identity. This Washington quarter was minted during a time when the U.S. economy was transitioning into a new decade, and millions of Americans used this exact coin in everyday life without realizing the story and potential value it holds today. Whether you are a beginner coin collector or an experienced numismatist, the 1990 Quarter Dollar deserves a closer look because even common-looking coins can hide surprising details. The 1990 quarter is part of the long-running Washington Quarter series, first introduced in 1932 to honor the 200th birthday of George Washington. By 1990, the design had become iconic. On the obverse, you will see George Washington's left-facing portrait, along with the word "Liberty" at the top and "In God We Trust" to the left of the profile. The date 1990 appears at the bottom. The reverse features the familiar eagle with outstretched wings, clutching arrows and olive branches, symbolizing both strength and peace. Above the eagle is "United States of America," and below it is the denomination quarter dollar. In 1990, quarter dollars were minted at 3 different U.S. mint facilities: Philadelphia with no mint mark, Denver with a D mint mark, and San Francisco with an S mint mark, mainly for proof coins. The Philadelphia and Denver mints produced hundreds of millions of quarters for circulation, making most 1990 quarters common. However, common does not mean worthless. Condition, mint mark, and errors play a huge role in determining the value of a 1990 quarter today. Many collectors actively search for high-grade examples that have never been heavily circulated. The metal composition of the 1990 quarter dollar is also important for collectors to understand. Unlike older quarters minted before 1965, which contained silver, the 1990 quarter is made of a copper-nickel-clad composition. It consists of a pure copper core sandwiched between 2 layers of copper-nickel alloy. The coin weighs approximately 5.67 grams and has a diameter of 24.3 millimeters. While it does not contain silver, its value can still increase significantly in uncirculated or proof condition. One of the most exciting aspects of collecting the 1990 quarter is searching for rare errors and varieties. Error coins are highly desirable and can be worth many times their face value. Some known errors include off-center strikes, double die errors, clipped planchets, and broad strikes. A 1990 quarter with a strong double die on the lettering "Liberty" or "In God We Trust" can attract serious attention from collectors. Even small minting mistakes can dramatically increase a coin's market value if they are clearly visible and authenticated. Proof quarters from 1990, especially those minted in San Francisco, are another area of interest. These coins were specially struck with polished dies and planchets, resulting in sharp details and mirror-like surfaces. Proof coins were never meant for circulation and were sold directly to collectors. A 1990 S-proof quarter in perfect condition can be worth significantly more than a regular circulated example. Deep cameo proofs, where the design appears frosted against a mirror background, are especially desirable in the collector market. When it comes to value, a typical circulated 1990 quarter is usually worth its face value of 25 cents. However, uncirculated coins in mint state condition can be worth several dollars, depending on their grade. Coins graded MS-65 or higher by professional grading services can command higher prices, especially if they show strong luster and minimal marks. Error coins and high-quality proof coins can range from tens to even hundreds of dollars, depending on rarity and demand. Collectors should always examine their 1990 quarters carefully before spending them. Look closely at the mint mark just to the right of Washington's ponytail on the obverse. Check the edges, lettering, and overall strike quality. Using a magnifying glass or coin loop can help reveal details that are not visible to the naked eye. If you believe you have found a rare error or a high-grade coin, it may be worth having it professionally evaluated or graded. Beyond monetary value, the 1990 United States quarter dollar holds historical and sentimental significance. It represents a time before the introduction of the state quarters program, which began in 1999 and completely changed how Americans viewed and collected quarters. For many collectors, pre-1999 Washington quarters like the 1990 issue mark the end of a classic era in U.S. coinage. This makes them especially appealing to those who appreciate traditional designs and historical continuity. In today's coin collecting world, interest in Washington quarters continues to grow, especially as people search through old collections, inherited coin jars, and even pocket change. The 1990 quarter may seem ordinary at first glance, but with the right condition, mint mark, or error, it can become a valuable and exciting piece of American numismatic history. Taking the time to learn about this coin not only increases your chances of finding something special, but also deepens your appreciation for the artistry and craftsmanship behind U.S. coinage. If you have a 1990 quarter with Liberty and In God We Trust, don't overlook it. Examine it closely, store it properly, and consider adding it to your collection. Coins like these remind us that even everyday objects can carry history, value, and the potential for discovery, making coin collecting both rewarding and endlessly fascinating. The 1979 United States of America quarter dollar is a fascinating coin that quietly carries the powerful words Liberty and In God We Trust, making it a must-know piece for collectors, history lovers, and anyone searching through pocket change for hidden value. Struck during a time of economic transition in the late 1970s, this Washington quarter reflects both American heritage and everyday circulation history, which is exactly why it remains so popular in coin collecting discussions today. This 1979 quarter dollar belongs to the long-running Washington quarter series that began in 1932. On the obverse, the profile of George Washington faces left, with the word Liberty boldly placed along the top rim and In God We Trust clearly visible to the left of Washington's neck. The date 1979 appears at the bottom. While many people casually refer to it as a Liberty quarter, it is officially known as a Washington quarter, with Liberty represented through inscription rather than a standing figure. The reverse of the 1979 quarter features the iconic American bald eagle with outstretched wings, clutching arrows that symbolize strength and defense, along with olive branches representing peace. Above the eagle is United States of America, and below it is the denomination quarter dollar. This classic eagle reverse was used until 1998, making the 1979 issue part of a beloved traditional design era that many collectors prefer over modern variations. In 1979, quarter dollars were minted at 3 major U.S. mint facilities. The Philadelphia Mint produced coins without a mint mark, the Denver Mint struck quarters with a D mint mark, and the San Francisco Mint issued S mint mark coins, primarily for proof sets. Philadelphia and Denver coins were made for everyday circulation, while San Francisco proofs were specially struck with sharp details and mirror-like finishes for collectors. The metal composition of the 1979 quarter is also important to understand. Unlike older silver quarters made before 1965, this coin is composed of a copper-nickel clad structure. It consists of an outer layer of 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a pure copper core. The total weight is approximately 5.67 grams, with a diameter of 24.3 millimeters. Knowing this helps collectors quickly distinguish it from earlier silver issues. When it comes to value, the 1979 quarter dollar is generally considered a common coin in circulated condition. Most worn examples are worth face value, meaning 25 cents. However, uncirculated coins in mint condition can carry a premium, especially if they show strong luster, sharp details, and minimal contact marks. Coins graded in higher mint state levels are far more desirable to collectors building quality sets. The 1979 S-proof quarter deserves special attention. Proof coins were not intended for circulation and were produced using specially polished dies and planchets. These coins display deep mirror-like fields and frosted design elements, making them visually striking. A well-preserved 1979 S-proof quarter is often worth significantly more than a regular circulated coin, particularly if it remains in its original condition without scratches or haze. Error coins are where the 1979 quarter becomes especially exciting. Collectors actively search for minting errors such as off-center strikes, double dies, clipped planchets, and misaligned dies. A genuine and clearly visible error can multiply the value of the coin many times over. Even small errors, when authenticated, can turn an ordinary quarter into a prized collectible. Condition plays a major role in determining the worth of any 1979 quarter dollar. Coins with strong details in Washington's hair, clean lettering in Liberty and I in God We Trust, and a bold eagle on the reverse are always more appealing. Surface quality matters too. Scratches, stains, or heavy wear reduce value, while clean surfaces with natural luster increase collector interest. From a historical perspective, the 1979 quarter reflects an era of inflation, rising metal prices, and changes in U.S. coinage habits. Americans were using coins heavily in everyday transactions, which means many 1979 quarters show wear today. Finding one in excellent condition after decades of circulation is part of what makes collecting these coins so rewarding. Collectors often recommend checking old jars, inherited collections, and bankrolls for 1979 quarters. While most examples are common, the thrill comes from discovering an uncirculated piece, a proof coin, or a rare error hiding in plain sight. Even beginners can participate in this search, making the 1979 quarter a perfect entry point into U.S. coin collecting. In today's numismatic market, interest in Washington quarters remains strong due to their long history and recognizable design. The 1979 United States of America quarter dollar with Liberty and I in God We Trust continues to attract attention online, especially among collectors who enjoy hunting for undervalued coins and overlooked errors. Whether you are a seasoned collector or just starting your journey, the 1979 quarter dollar is a reminder that everyday coins can carry historical meaning, collectible potential, and timeless American symbolism. Taking the time to examine each detail closely could turn a simple coin into a valuable and meaningful part of your collection. The 1993 United States of America quarter dollar coin, carrying the powerful inscriptions Liberty and I in God We Trust, is a fascinating piece of American numismatic history that many people still overlook today. At first glance, it may seem like an ordinary Washington quarter you've seen countless times, but when you look closer, the 1993 quarter tells a deeper story about U.S. minting, design traditions, circulation history, and collector value. This coin represents an era just before major changes in U.S. coinage, making it especially interesting for collectors, beginners, and even everyday people who might still find one in their pocket change. The obverse of the 1993 quarter dollar features the iconic portrait of George Washington, a design originally created by sculptor John Flanagan. Washington faces left, symbolizing strength, leadership, and the foundation of American democracy. The word Liberty arches boldly across the top of the coin, while I in God We Trust appears to the left of Washington's portrait, reinforcing the national motto that reflects faith, unity, and tradition. The year 1993 is clearly visible at the bottom, anchoring this coin firmly in early 1990s American history. This familiar design connects modern Americans to generations before them who carried similar quarters during different eras. On the reverse side, the 1993 United States quarter showcases the classic heraldic eagle with outstretched wings, clutching arrows that represent defense and strength. Beneath the eagle are olive branches, symbolizing peace, balance, and hope. Above the eagle is the inscription United States of America, while E pluribus unum appears prominently, meaning out of many, one. At the bottom, the denomination quarter dollar confirms its value. This reverse design was used for decades before being replaced by the famous 50-state quarters program in 1999, which makes the 1993 quarter part of the final generation of traditional eagle-back Washington quarters. The 1993 quarter dollar was produced at multiple U.S. mint facilities, including Philadelphia and Denver, with San Francisco striking special proof versions. Coins from Philadelphia carry no mint mark, while Denver coins feature a small D on the obverse near the date. Proof coins from San Francisco bear an S mint mark and were specially struck for collectors using polished dies and planchets. These proof coins are known for their sharp details, mirror-like fields, and frosted design elements, making them highly desirable among collectors. In terms of composition, the 1993 United States quarter is made of a copper-nickel-clad structure, consisting of 91.67% copper and 8.33% nickel, bonded over a pure copper core. This composition has been standard for U.S. quarters since 1965, when silver was removed from circulating coinage. While it doesn't contain precious metal like older silver quarters, the craftsmanship and historical context still give it significant numismatic interest. One of the most important factors that determine the value of a 1993 quarter dollar is its condition. Coins that circulated heavily often show wear on Washington's hair, the high points of the eagle's wings, and the lettering. These circulated examples are generally worth face value, but uncirculated coins tell a different story. A 1993 quarter in mint state condition, especially with strong luster and minimal contact marks, can be worth significantly more to collectors. Coins graded MS-65 or higher by professional grading services are particularly sought after. Errors and varieties add another exciting layer to the 1993 quarter story. Some collectors actively search for mint errors such as off-center strikes, double die obverse, clipped planchets, broad strikes, or coins struck on the wrong planchet. While these errors are rare, they can dramatically increase the value of a 1993 quarter dollar, sometimes reaching hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on rarity and condition. Finding such an error in everyday change would be an incredible discovery for any collector. Proof versions of the 1993 quarter also deserve special attention. These coins were never intended for circulation and were sold directly to collectors as part of annual proof sets. Because of their superior quality, sharp details, and reflective surfaces, proof quarters from 1993 often hold higher value than regular circulation strikes. Deep cameo proof examples, where the contrast between the frosted design and mirrored background is especially strong, are particularly desirable in the collector market. Historically, the year 1993 sits at an interesting point in U.S. coinage history. Just a few years later, the introduction of the state quarters program would revolutionize coin collecting in America, drawing millions of new collectors into the hobby. The 1993 quarter represents the calm before that storm, a time when quarters were still uniform in design and quietly circulating without the excitement of state themes. Because of this, some collectors view pre-1999 quarters as symbols of a classic era that has now passed. From an SEO perspective, the 1993 United States of America quarter dollar coin is often searched alongside terms like 1993 quarter value, Washington quarter 1993, Liberty in God We Trust quarter, 1993 quarter error coin, and rare 1993 quarter. These search terms reflect the growing interest among collectors and casual coin hunters who want to know if their old coins might be worth more than face value. As awareness increases, so does demand for high-quality examples and unusual varieties. For beginner collectors, the 1993 quarter is an excellent entry point into numismatics. It is affordable, widely available, and rich in educational value. By studying this coin, collectors can learn how to evaluate condition, identify mint marks, recognize errors, and understand the broader history of U.S. coinage. It also encourages people to check their pocket change more carefully, turning everyday transactions into potential treasure hunts. Even seasoned collectors appreciate the 1993 quarter for its role in completing date and mint mark sets of Washington quarters. Completing a full set from the Eagle Reverse era requires attention to detail and patience, and the 1993 issues are essential pieces in that puzzle. High-grade examples continue to gain attention as collectors seek the best possible specimens for registry sets and long-term collections. The message carried by the inscriptions Liberty and In God We Trust add symbolic depth to the 1993 quarter dollar. These words reflect the core values upon which the United States was founded and remind us that even everyday objects like coins can carry powerful meaning. Holding a 1993 quarter is like holding a small piece of American PH. The 1982 United States of America quarter dollar with the iconic inscriptions Liberty and In God We Trust is a coin that often goes unnoticed in everyday change, yet it holds a fascinating place in American numismatic history. This Washington quarter was struck at the Philadelphia Mint during a time of major economic pressure in the United States, when inflation, rising metal costs, and changes in minting practices were reshaping how U.S. coins were produced. Because of this unique historical backdrop, the 1982 P quarter has become an interesting target for collectors who appreciate both history and subtle rarity within modern coinage. The obverse of the 1982 P quarter features the familiar portrait of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan. Washington faces left, with the word Liberty boldly displayed above his head. To the left of the portrait appears the phrase In God We Trust, a motto that has been part of U.S. coinage since the 19th century and symbolizes national faith and unity. The date 1982 is positioned below Washington's neck. One important detail collectors look for is the absence of a mint mark. Coins struck at the Philadelphia Mint traditionally did not carry a mint mark during this period, which is why this coin is identified as a P mint issue even though no letter appears on the coin. The reverse side of the 1982 P quarter showcases the classic heraldic eagle design, also created by John Flanagan. The eagle stands proudly with outstretched wings, clutching arrows in its talons, symbolizing strength and readiness, while olive branches represent peace. Above the eagle is the motto E pluribus unum, meaning, out of many, one, and surrounding the design are the words United States of America and quarter dollar. This reverse design was used on Washington quarters for decades, making it one of the most recognizable coin designs in U.S. history. What makes the 1982 P quarter especially interesting is the year it was minted. In 1982, the U.S. Mint did not issue traditional proof sets, and mint sets were also limited. This has made high-quality examples of regular circulation coins from this year more desirable among collectors. While millions of quarters were struck for circulation, finding examples in pristine, uncirculated condition is much more difficult today. Many were heavily used in everyday commerce, resulting in wear, scratches, and contact marks. The composition of the 1982 P quarter is copper-nickel clad, consisting of an outer layer of 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a pure copper core. This composition was introduced in 1965, replacing the earlier 90% silver quarters. Although the 1982 P quarter does not contain silver, its value lies in condition, strike quality, and potential minting errors. Collectors often examine the edges of the coin, where the copper core can be seen sandwiched between the nickel layers, as part of identifying authenticity and wear. One of the biggest reasons collectors search for the 1982 P quarter is the possibility of valuable mint errors. Error coins can significantly increase the value of an otherwise common coin. Off-center strikes, double dies, clipped planchets, and broad strikes are among the most sought-after errors. A double die obverse, where the lettering or date appears doubled due to a misaligned die during the minting process, can command strong premiums in the coin market. Even small anomalies, such as weak strikes or unusual die cracks, attract attention from error collectors. Condition plays a crucial role in determining the value of a 1982 P quarter. Coins found in circulated condition are generally worth face value, but uncirculated examples can be worth significantly more. Coins graded MS65 or higher by professional grading services are especially desirable. These high-grade coins display sharp details, strong luster, and minimal surface marks. Because mint sets from 1982 were limited, finding a top-grade example can be challenging, which adds to collector demand. The historical context of 1982 also adds depth to this coin story. The United States was facing economic uncertainty, high inflation, and changing monetary policies. These factors influenced coin production and public perception of money. The Washington quarter, including the 1982 P issue, circulated widely during this time, making it a silent witness to an important chapter in American economic history. Holding this coin today is like holding a small piece of that era. Collectors often include the 1982 P quarter in complete Washington quarter collections or date and mint mark sets. For those building a collection from circulation finds, locating a clean 1982 P example can be a satisfying challenge. Roll hunters frequently search bank-wrapped quarter rolls, hoping to discover an uncirculated coin or a rare error. This hunt adds excitement and keeps interest alive in modern coin collecting. The market value of the 1982 P quarter varies depending on condition and rarity. Circulated coins typically trade at face value, but uncirculated examples can range from a few dollars to much higher amounts for top-graded pieces. Error coins can sell for significantly more, sometimes reaching hundreds of dollars depending on the type and severity of the error. As with all coins, market demand, collector interest, and grading play a major role in determining final value. Proper storage and handling are essential if you believe you have a high-quality 1982 P quarter. Coins should be handled by the edges to avoid fingerprints, which can damage the surface over time. Using protective holders, such as coin flips or capsules, helps preserve condition and maintain value. For potentially valuable pieces, professional grading can provide authentication and a standardized assessment of condition, which often increases market confidence. The 1982 P Washington quarter may seem ordinary at first glance, but beneath its familiar design lies a story of economic change, minting challenges, and collectible potential. Whether you are a beginner just starting your coin collecting journey or an experienced numismatist searching for high-grade or error examples, this